To throw again, down the middle, has Knox at their 40. Trey Knox inside the 30, and they'll spin him down at the 27-yard line.
It started with not knowing where I was going to go at all. You know, Arkansas offered me, they were one of my last offers, but I came up here just on a fluke, like on a Sunday for a couple of hours, met the staff, and I was like, these are pretty cool dudes, but I didn't know a lot about the tradition of Arkansas or the history. I didn't know what these guys were about or where they came from. So then I started, digging, researching Coach Moore's, talking to Coach Stepp, building a relationship. And I thought this is where I needed to be. God told me this is where I needed to be, so you can't argue with God, so I had to come on.
Coach Stepp said after you left the building, he said that's the last time we might see him.
Oh yes, sir. He tells me that all the time. Like, I never planned to see you again after the first time you came. I was like, I know. But now I'm here, so let's go win games.
He's got a large personality. He can walk in a room and he can take over a room. That's what he did his first time here. I mean, he just completely won us over in the first 5 minutes he was here.
Blame it all on my rules.
We tell our guys all the time, when we recruit you, we want you to be you. If you wear a cowboy hat and a big belt buckle, come in here wearing a cowboy hat and a big belt buckle.
Last one to show, I was the last one you thought you'd see there.
Don't come in here and be somebody you're not. And Trey Knox, he smiles because he loves life. This guy truly loves every day he wakes up. And it's not a front. He's been smiling since the day he got here. And it's a credit to his family. And it's a credit to the way he views every day of life. And so it's contagious. I will say that, because he gets everybody smiling. And so not only is he a really good football player, but this is a young man that's come in and he's raised the standard in that room with everybody.
He's obviously a very talented football player, but he's an even better kid. And it just goes back to, to Mr. Knox and Miss Katina Knox, man. They just did an incredible job of raising him.
Tell me a little more about the relationship with Coach Stepp.
So the crazy thing is, he used to talk to my mom more than he talked to me. He and my mom were getting along great because I brought them up on an official, and that's when they first met face to face. But he and my mom talk every day, almost every other day. And I'm just like, why are you my mom's best friend? And so that's just the relationship we have. We're basically family. I'll hang out with his son, talk to him. We'll hang out a lot. He'll call my mom. We'll FaceTime my parents, just stuff like that. And we're just like family oriented.
It's not just about the kid, it's about the whole family. You don't just recruit the player, you get the whole family when you recruit them, so it's definitely a family deal. If Trey Knox just gets better at football when he's around me, then I've failed him and his parents. Like, I'm interested in building the whole young man, and I remember what it was like for me, and what I wanted to be poured into my life at this age, and that's what I'm trying to be for these kids.
So far, Hicks gonna throw if he can, gets away from the rush, fires over the middle, complete on a tip. Caught at midfield, inside the 40, inside the 35. Down and out of bounds is Trey Knox. Big play. And the Razorback.
Describe your game. Somebody hasn't seen you play in high school, or they've seen the tape, but maybe they haven't seen you. What you bring as a wide receiver?
Definitely big body. I like to be aggressive and use my physicality. My speed's gotten better, so I'm able to run past people now. Great hands. I run great routes. Just try to get open, possess the ball, really.
So a 6'5", 200-pound receiver with a personality just as big, it's easy to see how Trey would call himself Snag Crew CEO. But it's a title he had to hand over to Coach Stepp once he signed to play for the Razorbacks.
One of my good friends from back home, Adonis Ote, he came up with this group called Clamp Crew. And he was like, yeah, we clamping all the receivers. Anybody on offense getting clamped up. So I was like, nah, so I got to make something for the offense. So Snag Crew came into play. And I just thought it had a good ring to it and a good sound. So I was like, Snag Crew. So I started it, so I became the CEO. And then once I signed, I took my business and I gave it to Coach Stepp and became the COO. So now he runs the whole program, and that's what we call our wide receiver corps.
When I first started recruiting Trey, I saw it on his deal, and we kind of talked about it off and on. And then when he committed, he said, hey, I think I'm going to turn the rights over for the CEO to you. I said, well, if you're going to play for me, I'm definitely going to be the CEO. So you can be the COO. But it's just something that's kind of, it's kind of taken off. I was in the airport in Dallas and had somebody screaming Snag Crew, and it's just kind of taken off. And so I think it's something that our guys take a lot of pride in, is being something different and something that they can hang their hat on. And it's not just like any other receiver group in the country. We want it to be special and want it to be something different and something these guys can take a lot of pride in.
Regardless of his title within Snag Crew, Trey says he just wants to do his part to turn Arkansas football around.
It would mean everything. Just knowing that I could come here and write my own story, be one of the first founding guys to turn the Arkansas program back around to its winning ways. Just knowing I can go and tell my kids that, well, you don't turn the program around every year. So just knowing that I could come in, you know, play and turn this whole thing around.
Play fake, gonna throw a fade, left side, Knox at the goal line, complete, touchdown Arkansas! Trey Knox, 24 yards, and just like that, the Hawks are in.